I guess this happened on February 22nd, and I was just checking my email, and oh, there was some email from Microsoft, or maybe there was a link somewhere on the email page itself, and it brought me to Microsoft's website, and from there I just decided to take a gander at their employee benefits. Now I know this is typical, not typical. Um, let's just take a look. Make the most of life. Get and stay healthy. Okay. Medical, dental, and vision care. Enjoy the comfort of industry-leading healthcare coverage for you and your family with no monthly paycheck deductions. So, I've never had that before. No monthly paycheck deduction. So basically, the health insurance is completely subsidized for them. I'm not sure. It probably doesn't mean you don't pay anything, but um, nothing comes out of your paycheck at least. So I'm sure the health coverage itself is also very good. Probably worst case scenario, you don't pay more than $5,000 a year. Be my guess. As all this other shit over here. I've been through all of these perks and it's ridiculous. But I just wanted to come to this one here. Take time away, time off. Enjoy 15 paid vacation days, 10 paid sick leave days, 10 paid U.S. holidays, plus 2 personal days every year. So let me just break this down a little bit. So 15 paid vacation days. So, of the corporate jobs I've held, most of them were, pretty shitty. And most of them were like, okay, after you work for us a year, we'll give you 1 week off paid, or we'll let you begin to accrue time off depending on obviously how many hours you worked. Now, what it sounds like from here, you got 3 weeks, 5 days a week, 3 weeks off from the very start. Now, I've had 3 weeks off before, but I had to work 5 years first to get there. 10 paid sick leave days. Now, I know people have jobs that give them paid time off when they're sick. It doesn't come out of your vacation time, but I've never had one. And I've worked for several big corporations, and the last one, Panera Bread. The funny thing was, on my paycheck there was a section for paid time off when you're sick time, whatever it was called. And they would have like an hour amount like this. It would have what my vacation balance was, and they would have, the sick balance, and the sick time off was always at 0 because we didn't have any. But for whatever reason, they had it on there. Probably just whoever did their paychecks at the time had that as part of the template, but it was just kind of funny to see. And I found it funny because I've heard all my life that employers do not want you coming into work when you're sick. And it's not because they're so nice. They're definitely not so nice. But they don't want you coming into work when you're sick because you're going to make other people sick. And you're going to cause a lot of, you're going to hurt the productivity. You're going to cost them money if you come in when you're sick. They don't want to pay you to stay away, but they don't want you to come in when you're sick either. So I used to work for Panera Bread. As far as corporate overlords go, they're not the best. They're not the worst. It really depends on what you do there. If you do work there, stay the hell away from the baking side, because it is terrible. They will destroy you. But anyway, from my time at Panera, my benefits only decreased from the point that I started. And I was there 17 years. I think I've worked at Panera 17 years. Unfortunately, this wasn't all at one place, so I didn't have a whole bunch of seniority, but I worked for different franchises, and I worked for different corporate stores at different times. But overall, it was 17 years. And the benefits for at least the corporate stores only decreased the entire time I was there. The benefits you got would get worse or less. The out-of-pocket costs would go up. This was constant. And never in all that time did I ever have something like paid time off when I was sick. They would let you use your vacation time, but they certainly weren't going to give you any sick leave. And I remember one time specifically, and this was very hilarious, and I wish I had video of this. I'm sure it exists somewhere. They would make you do these modules, these training modules online or on the intranet.
Training and online support documentation. Don't worry, it's
Doge!
You've used them before.
There was Doge!
Right now. And we're doing...
And they would play videos sometimes. And one of the videos they had one time was, it was a skit about a girl who was sick. She had a cold or something. And she came to work when she was sick, as you do. I'm guilty of this. I'm sure many other people are guilty of this. So she came to work and she did her job, whatever. They had a scene where she was serving somebody a tray and maybe she was displaying her symptoms kind of, and the guy was like kind of like a little iffy about the situation, but whatever. He took the tray. Then we cut to another scene where there's like some kind of like, you know, DEFCON 3 meeting going on, and it's been discovered that there's like an asteroid heading for Earth, and it's going to destroy the planet. And everybody's freaking out, and somebody's like, well, don't worry. We'll just get, let's call him Bob. Bob's going to point his laser at the asteroid, and it's going to deflect it, and they'll be fine. And then somebody else like, oh no, but Bob called in sick today. And then it destroys the planet. So the story was that the girl made Bob sick. And so then Bob couldn't come to work to save the Earth from the asteroid. And the one side of their mouth, they're saying, don't come in when you're sick, because that's bad. And then on the other side of their mouth, they're saying, well, if you don't come to work when you're sick, you might destroy the planet. Now, I've never met anybody who was sick and still wanted to come to work. Maybe there's some out there, masochists perhaps, but in my experience, you're sick, you don't want to go to work. And why do you go to work? Well, there's a few reasons. The main one for most people is you need those hours. You know, most people don't have a tremendous amount of savings, and missing even one day of work will have a significant impact on you. And the other reason is your boss really doesn't want you to miss that day of work either. And I remember the video talking about how they were saying, don't worry about calling into work. We'll help you reschedule so you don't lose your hours. Not don't worry, we'll give you some sick time so you can take time off when you're sick and not have to worry about it. And I don't understand why this is such a big deal for these corporations. If it's something that will actually save you money, is to give people some sick time off, standard, paid. Why don't they do it? I think once you reach a certain number of employees, you should have 5 days a year paid time off when you're sick, period. And if you want to say, well, we don't want give that to people because they're just going to use it willy-nilly. Well, the way you prevent them from using it willy-nilly is if they don't use it, you just roll it into their time off, their regular time off. That way they're more likely to schedule it. Is this really such a burden? It saves them money in the long run. So why won't they do it? Well, maybe these types of changes are going to be coming down the pipeline soon, given what's happening right now. So the virus is making me think about this sort of thing. And I was thinking about The Walking Dead. Now, say what you will about The Walking Dead. Whether you want to talk about the comic or TV show, or God help you, the spin-off of the TV show. But when I think about that show, and I think about, what's the moral of The Walking Dead? And for me, it was to be grateful for what you have. There are so many examples in the show where, the characters are just so happy to even have a hot meal, even to have a meal at all. It's like the whole world to them.
I'm gonna eat 5 more of these dinners, okay?
Wait, I've been waiting to show you this one. It's chili and mac and cheese together. Come on.
To have temporary safety from these zombies or from the other people that are trying to kill them. And then you have to try to think about how terrible their lives are in The Walking Dead. And you can't help but realize how much better your life is.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
All right. When's the last time any of you have seen a movie?
Seriously?
And this virus, how it's changed society, at least temporarily, it's very reminiscent of The Walking Dead. It's a virus that's basically changing everybody's behavior, making lots of people sick. And it's creating want, where there's more people right now who are maybe more grateful to have a meal than they were before this. Food, quote unquote, for thought. I think you should definitely be grateful for what you have even now. And I think I actually might have this thing. I got that dry cough. And I got that sore throat. It's been quite a few days, and I'm not really feeling the respiratory part, but I'm asthmatic, and I'm really used to not being able to breathe well, so maybe it's affecting me there too, and I just don't notice yet. But anyway, I just felt like talking about this. Peace.